Call of Duty as a franchise is completely falling apart. Now that's a bold statement coming from the guy who has spent his entire childhood playing, learning, and loving Call of Duty. Specifically zombies for that matter. But nostalgia could not hide the facts that Call of Duty no longer possesses the popularity, creativity, or potential that it once had. Now you may be wondering, well Swolster, what do you mean by that? I mean a game that you can play for hours on end, without thinking about what time it is, whether or not you missed a text from your girl, or if you've got a test tomorrow. Cause fuck it, the motherfucking boys are on, and they need a damn fourth. You do not give a fuck, and you're playing some damn games with the fucking boys. I mean a game that is polished and filled with detail. A game that no matter how many times you have beaten it, you can always go back to and enjoy. A game that runs smoothly upon release, that does not have game-breaking glitches or functionality issues. A game that is well received and enjoyed by the entire gaming community. If you're expecting me to take it easy and pull my punches on Treyarch and Call of Duty, then you probably should find another fucking video. The excuse of COVID-19 is exactly that. An excuse for a lack of innovation, effort, and foresight by Activision and Treyarch. Hey guys, my name is Swole Gamer, and I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes tearing apart Treyarch and Activision about why I personally feel Call of Duty as a franchise is completely falling apart. If you do enjoy the video and want to see more amazing content like this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a single video. And let's get into it. For those of you who have been around my channel, you might be a tad confused. And it's pretty logical to think so, considering that I used to build my career on YouTube, Mixer, and now Twitch, playing, loving, and learning Call of Duty Zombies religiously. If you didn't know, my first map was actually trans shit, but I did fall in love with it. I loved how I could get on every single afternoon, and the boys knew exactly what game we were playing. Black Ops 2. We could sit there for hours on end, riding around on that stupid ass bus, and occasionally leaving someone behind, but that person would typically be me, so I could hit the box a couple extra times. Running around on town and just play zombies with the boys without a care in the world. Everyone had fun, they enjoyed it, and maybe it's just nostalgia talking, but that's where I got started with Call of Duty. I really got into Buried when it came out as well, and to this day is still one of my favorite maps in all of Call of Duty. And an old western town with themed weapons, a drunk disabled giant, and a bank that makes it easier for newer players to play the map. Transit might have been the map that started me on zombies, but Buried was the map that hooked me into the Zombies franchise like a lot of other casual players. I was able to get accustomed to zombies, learn how to train in tight spaces, and face difficult, but not stupid difficult challenges, like the witch's house and the maze. It helped me to get better at zombies. Now, I did not really get into Mob of the Dead for whatever reason as a kid. Yeah, I know. Boo me all you want. But I fell in love with Origins. Origins for me was that first true challenge that I faced as a gamer. Crazy weapons, a huge map, and a giant mechanical madman who was trying to kill me at every single turn before I was even set up. And you know what happened to me for those couple of weeks that I was getting used to Origins and playing it for the first time? We got our fucking ass handed to us. Consistently, every single day. But we continued to play it, and we got much, much better. I will never forget, that first time that I killed a Panzer at Gen 4, only to get fucking stepped on 3 seconds later. But then again, some things never change, so I guess so. I also will never forget when I first beat the Easter egg, or when I beat it solo. Like, those are just huge accomplishments that I had as a gamer at that point. The amount of shit talking that went down after I was able to beat Origins and beat it solo, I was the cream of the crop, right? And I could talk shit to literally everybody about it because I beat motherfucking Origins. What I would give for zombies to be like that again. Where there was once a passionate community filled with excitement and energy, there now only exists a handful of active creators. Tim Hansen, Greg FPS, Chopper, Mr. T Lexify, and Ruffle Waffles are the only creators off the top of my head that still actively produce zombies-centered content. And while creators such as Noah J and The Smith Place have not left the YouTube scene, they hardly ever cover any zombies content anymore. And this becomes more apparent when Cold War, the latest installment into the Zombies franchise, is a very polarizing game that draws very different emotions. On one hand, the game introduces a lot of new features to zombies that have really enhanced the gameplay. Tacticals, lethals, and score streaks are all new additions, and even self-revives can be crafted from resources earned each new match. A new progressive perk system that adds replayability and depth to bring back familiar faces like Jug and Speedcullen, but freshen it up with a new twist. Unique maps with features, new wonder weapons, and a new story to follow. So with all these new additions, how is Cold War Zombies still lacking, you might ask? Similar to what happened with the release of Black Ops 4, Cold War was far from a polished product at release. When I first opened the game on my PC, I could hardly play a match due to the lack of optimized servers. The campaign specifically was a great story that ultimately was shadowed by immersion-breaking visual and audio bugs. Hell, you don't have to look far to find gameplay of it, but if you want more info on this topic, go check out Ackman's video linked in the description. He covers this in a lot of detail. But glitches aren't my problem with Cold War Zombies, as these can easily be fixed if your game is good enough. So, what would you ask is my real problem? My problem with zombies is that it's easy. It is stupid easy. And how is it easy, Swolster? I'm 10 and I can't beat it. That's my point. You're not supposed to be able to beat it. Zombies was never meant to be something that any average gamer could play and be successful at. If you look at old footage of professional zombies players, they consistently make mistakes. And oftentimes they really do struggle to find consistency in their gameplay. Take me, for example, somebody who has really poured myself into the map Der Eisendrock. I have played hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of Der Eisendrock. Literally my favorite map in all of Call of Duty Zombies. Can I speedrun the solo Easter egg in under 45 minutes? Hell no. Because it's challenging, it requires skill, work, dedication, and consistency, things that I don't have or have not worked for. You don't have to just look at me either though. Take any professional zombies player. Noah J456, Mr. T, Greg FPS, any of those players who are known for being really damn good at zombies. They consistently make mistakes and they have to work really hard to be solid players. Zombies has completely changed from what it used to be. And while it has helped bring newer fans towards the franchise and expand the Call of Duty interest, many hardcore fans like myself who really love zombies have pretty much left the community. I was hanging out with Halkin the other night, who, as many of you know, is one of my editors and one of my best friends. I asked him if he wanted to play some zombies to get some footage of me the other night. And he actually said no. It kind of hit me all at once in that moment that zombies for older fans just wasn't appealing anymore to play very consistently. Most of the time when I choose to play Call of Duty Zombies, I don't play the newer game modes. I play Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 2. I don't play World at War, mostly just because I wasn't really into it at that point. I don't play Cold War. I don't play World War II. I don't play Advanced Warfare. I don't play Infinite Warfare. I play classic Treyarch Zombies, which is what was the good stuff, the good shit. I actually played a zombies match with one of my buddies the other day to introduce him to the game mode. He's never played a real game of zombies in his life until he played with me. His first down was on round 16. 16! Or take Tfue, someone who has never played zombies seriously, got to round 100 like it was no shit, piss in a bottle. Super easy. Back in Black Ops 2 and 3, me and the boys were chasing after every single Easter egg that released at that point, and beating Easter eggs to watch those cutscenes to find out what happened to our characters was a rewarding and amazing experience that was just hands down some of the best things that I've ever experienced in in gaming history. That kind of shit just doesn't happen in Cold War. Another thing for me is, where did the story go? What happened to it? Now, obviously, it ended at Black Ops 3, but we don't really know what's going on. Unless you are a serious Cold War fan, like you play it every single day, most people just don't know what the hell is going on. Like me. Like, I played a decent amount of Cold War when it came out, and I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, who is this new girl Samantha? What's happening to the outside world? What the hell are the void portals? Who is this new faction? Who are the people talking in the background? What is their purpose? What are their intentions? Who are we fighting against? The videotapes and recordings that they offer in the game are a very poor way to tell the story because you really have to search after them. And a lot of times you still don't find all the ones that you're looking for. And unless you're a fucking genius, you don't remember what the videotapes in the other missions were talking about. So you have no fucking clue what the hell is going on. It's not gripping. It's not immersive. It's not entertaining. We have no idea what's happening, why, or why any of it is important. There's no foundation to build upon for the story. And I can't recall what the fuck is happening because there's no intro story cutscenes. We have no idea what's going on leading up to the map. We have no idea what characters are involved because there are no characters. We don't play as any important characters. They're just the people from multiplayer. Take the actual characters that we used to have. Tank Dempsey, Takeo Masaki, Nikolai Belinsky, Dr. Edward Richtofen. They're all fucking badass. Outbreak only adds to this because they don't add anything to the story. It's just a reskin shitty Warzone map to make the game bigger and more shit to work on. And it was the cheapest way possible to give fans new content just for the sake of content. It feels like the Call of Duty game developers are just trying to find the most cost-efficient way to produce new content without actually caring what the actual content is. You look at games like Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2, where I remember exactly what happened, who did what, why, when, where, how. Every single mission and side quest develops either to the story or the characters at every single junction. The games have great mechanics, and dialogue on top of these makes it incredibly immersive. Black Ops 3 and other zombies titles have also done this to great success, and have offered more concrete foundations and story with each new map and additional character. The mechanics were not overly involved, but flexible enough to where if you showed skill, it would absolutely show through whether you understood it or not, like infinite jump sliding. You felt your surroundings. Your spatial awareness grew as you played the game more because of the story. The mechanics and game had a better playtime due to nothing having to do with the actual game, but the story. See, everything was built on the story. You had to create a desire to learn and manipulate the characters and environments because you had learned about them through the quests, through the setup process. Old school COD Zombies was a lot more like an interactive book and less like a new arcadey way to waste time. For me, playing zombies and going through the storyline map by map was a lot like watching Star Wars, one of my favorite things to do in my spare time, which I don't have a whole lot of. Every map that added new depth and progression in COD Zombies and Black Ops 1, 2, and 3 was a lot like a new episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, or a Skywalker film, not counting the last 3 shitty ones. Those are fucking dog shit. We don't talk about those. Take my favorite movie of all time, besides maybe Avengers Endgame, which is Revenge of the Sith. We see Anakin go from a powerful warrior, a protective friend, and a loving husband to a vengeful assassin, heartless murderer, and loveless soul, all in a very short amount of time. We are bought into the development of Anakin's character because of the previous films. His path to this point and our immersion in the Star Wars universe is critical to us understanding how Anakin's character develops. See, Anakin feels like a real person, his love for his wife Padme, and he'll do anything to keep her safe. He cares deeply for his Padawan Ahsoka, who he had to watch leave the Jedi Order because of the Jedi Order. And he also respects Obi-Wan for the father figure that he never had. We as fans are so bought into the character of Anakin Skywalker and his progression that when these traumatic events take place, that fundamentally change him as a person, it affects all of us. This kind of storytelling is absolutely nowhere to be found in Cold War Zombies. See, the reasons that Black Ops 1, 2, and 3 are able to keep us invested as fans is because we are emotionally attached to the main characters in every single way. We know that their backstories, their values, emotions, and their thought processes like the back of our hands. Takeo Masaki, an honorable Japanese samurai who cares not for the outside influences of the world, but only seeks to bring honor to his country and family. Tank Dempsey fits the general stereotype of Americans, being that he is strong, loud, and obnoxious, but also naive to most of the problems outside of America. He is, however, loyal to a fault, fierce as a lion, and has unfaltering commitment to his cause. Edward Richtofen, a German scientist out to right the wrongs of his dimensional self and bring about the restoring normalcy to their dimensions. And last but not least, our favorite communist, Nikolai Belensky, a Russian soldier who struggles with the demons of his past and only wants to get home to his family. There are no characters like this to get too attached to in Cold War. With no opening cutscenes, like I said, to explain what's happening in the map, most players just simply don't care about what's happening because the characters aren't important. And when the characters aren't important, the story doesn't seem important. Because there's no real way to get attached to the conflict because the characters don't feel like they're involved in the conflict. Zombies just feels like any other arcade shooter experience at this point. Where story and gameplay in previous titles were both equally valued, the force is no longer balanced, and Activision has completely fallen to the dark side. Back in the days of Black Ops 2 and 3, many of my friends who didn't play zombies were trashing on Call of Duty for being a cash cow and a copy of previous titles. But you know what I did? My dumbass defended it. I stood up for the games that I had fun playing, even though I knew that they were extremely flawed. Maybe I wasn't truly old enough to understand, and maybe I just wasn't fully aware of the problems in the Call of Duty community. Maybe it was partially both even, but sitting here now writing this script, I can't say that I'm willing to do that anymore. Not only does it feel like Activision doesn't really try anymore, it's pretty blatant for anybody paying attention at this point to kind of figure out that they're not a whole lot better than EA. But Swolster, aren't they giving us free DLC in Cold War? Like, come on now. Like, they're giving us free shit. We should be happy, right? Maybe, but let's just take a stroll down memory lane, shall we? To this little gem called Black Ops 4. Now, Black Ops 4, like most Call of Duties, had a lot of issues at launch. What do you know? They had a bunch of bugs, there was glitches, changes the players didn't like, there was a lack of campaign, a shitty battle royale. Wait, damn. There was a lot of problems with Black Ops 4, wasn't there? Anyways, games will generally know, within the first 2 weeks of release, how well their product is going to do with consumers. And for Black Ops 4, this 2 weeks was a shit show. That's all it took to put the nail in the coffin for Black Ops 4, because not only did players experience the same glitches that occurred in Cold War in relations to servers crashing and bugs that hindered their immersion, and any additional content that players wanted to receive out of this game would be stuck behind an additional $50 paywall. Now, doesn't that just sound fun? Doesn't that just sound great? Oh, it doesn't? Well, you're a part of the 90% of people that bought Black Ops 4 and didn't play it after release. See? That's exactly what happened with Cold War. When you compare it to the release of Black Ops 4, it becomes very clear. They were very, very similar, as they were both glitchy and generally received poor reviews by many fans. But when you think about it, people are more excited about Cold War than they were Black Ops 4. Now, why is that? Weren't they both terrible at release, like we just pointed out? Produced mediocre content at best, like I just pointed out? And didn't deliver to fans on what they wanted, like I just pointed out? Oh wait, it's because they gave out free shit, isn't it? See, don't get it mixed up as to why the DLC for Cold War is free. Call of Duty only started to release free games or free DLC for their games because the market evolved and left them in the dust. Hence the reception of Black Ops 4. It was pretty damn horrible. People stopped playing it and it completely dropped off the face of the planet after about 2 weeks. And if you're not an avid Call of Duty player, you probably don't know that this game existed at all. See, the reason that this game came out early was because At this point, Red Dead Redemption was also releasing. And Treyarch and Activision thought it was a wonderful idea to release the game a month early so that way they could beat out Red Dead Redemption. And guess what game won Game of the Year for multiple submissions the year that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 came out? It wasn't Black Ops 4. See, Call of Duty didn't innovate with free DLC because they thought it was a great idea. They simply followed the trend and did the only thing that could save their game from being a complete flop within a month. And I'm also aware that I haven't mentioned multiplayer yet. And that's because it's totally and completely dog shit. Do you like trash maps, trash weapons, trash game modes, a lack of content, more lack of content? All of it's just terrible. And I don't play a lot of multiplayer anyways, as many of my followers already know, so I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time in this review talking about it and discussing it, because anything I would have to say about multiplayer would be negative. So therefore, I didn't talk about it. You're welcome. Now, do I think that Cold War is an entirely terrible game that has no good qualities? No. I think the overall idea of Cold War Zombies is actually pretty solid. Treyarch returning to their roots, they're bringing back fan-favorite campaign characters, as well as bringing innovation to the Zombies game mode. These are all fantastic ideas. What was not good was the execution. The Zombies mode is far too easy for me, and doesn't offer the same incentives for me as a fan that there once were, which are immersive story, great setting pieces, and progression in gameplay. The innovations introduced really just destroy the need for skill level in game, as you can pick whatever gun you want at the start, you can buy self-revives to your heart's content, and you can also get score streaks and wonder weapons without doing a damn quest. You can just go on autopilot, play zombies, get to round 50, and call it a day for your 3 hours of downtime that you had. And with no story, there's no immersive characters to pour myself into, Call of Duty just hasn't scratched the itch for me lately. When I have games like Apex Legends, Dark Souls, and Paladins downloaded on my computer, I have no real reason to play COD anymore because COD is not competitive or updated consistently enough to offer me any incentive to return. And especially when I have games like Red Dead Redemption or other previous Zombies titles that offer me that same story and aesthetic, I have no reason to play Cold War for those either. So the main reasons that I play video games nowadays for story and competition, Call of Duty just doesn't offer either of those anymore. And at the end of the day, this video is just my opinion. I'm not trying to put out a video to bash anybody who likes Cold War for the story or for the gameplay or anything like that. If you like Cold War, that's completely your choice. I'm just putting this video out there because I know that I've seen a lot of my friends who previously played Zombies, who enjoyed the game mode, who were in it for the story and for the reasons that I mentioned, and they've completely fallen away from the community that really doesn't exist anymore, because with no real reason to be attached to what's going on, there's really not much of a community left. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comments section below, what do you think is really happening with Call of Duty? I took a lot of time, wrote down a really long script, put a lot of effort into putting all of this together, so I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button, show some support for the channel, because I have poured a ton of effort into this video to make it as clean and as polished and to put my opinion out there for you guys, because I feel like a lot of people feel this way, and it's really, really sad, because I know a lot of friends, a lot of friends who love Zombies and have completely fallen away from the community because it's not how it used to be, and I wish you knew when you were in the good times, when the good times are happening. It's super, super sad. If you're gonna put something hateful in the comments, one, you're watching this and you watched all the way to the end of the video, so appreciate you. And second of all, criticism does not mean that I don't like something. It means that I wish it was better, and I know it can be better, because Activision and Treyarch have obviously shown us that they can do better with all of the Black Ops games up until this point. Black Ops 1, 2, and 3. World at War was fantastic, and Infinity Wars Modern Warfare was fantastic, because they listened to their community, they gave us what we wanted, it came out, it was executed to a crisp, and yes, there were problems, but they were addressed, they were fixed, and we got a great product at the end of the day. That is not what's happening here with Cold War, and I'm putting my opinion out there for you guys. So yeah, if you have enjoyed the video, like I said, smash the like button, all that wonderful stuff. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single upload, and I will see you guys in the next video.